Pointless school rules. Let's go.
This year, the genius lawmakers in Texas had the brilliant idea to completely ban phones in school. Of all the useless rules that we have to follow in school, this one might actually take the cake.
Guys, I graduated last year, right? So I got to completely skip out on this. I am not in high school anymore. I am unemployed and I have no job. But the one perk is I do not have to deal with this rule they added last year or this year. I am so blessed. I skipped out on this rule. I am so beyond blessed. I do not have to deal with this.
Personal telecommunication devices may not be used at any time during the school day. This includes classrooms, passing periods, restrooms, at lunch, or in any other common...
No, but the thing is this, chat. The thing about the cell phone ban, right, is that they banned all the cell phones in Texas. I know that, in schools. But the thing is this. I still have some friends in the senior year, right? And they still have their cell phones. They still text, they still Snapchat, they still go on TikTok. I mean, I don't think they actually really banned the cell phone because like the teachers, I don't think care.
Areas on campus. Basically, get ready to bring your PSPs, 3DSs, Game Boys, and of course, your game.coms to school. Bro, what is that? My mom teaches high school, and she was telling me the other day how she supported the ban, saying that phones are a distraction. I was like, Mom, banning phones isn't gonna magically make students start paying attention.
I actually agree with the teachers. Let me explain why. In my opinion, I think cell phones is one of the worst things for high school. And before you're like, yeah, what? Why you agree with them? Why? Like you do not need your phone one bit. Let me explain why. Because every single person that had their phone in my high school was cheating. Using ChatGPT, using AI, just absolutely cheating the crap out of their assignments, right? And that's number one. Number two, the social media aspect of high school is terrible. Like, every single day, there was something new happening on social media. It's terrible. Social media was absolutely destroying the minds of high school students. That's number two. Number three is, it is a big distraction. There's been so many times I even been in class just texting, being on TikTok. And then the fourth reason is that nobody socializes at all. Whenever the teacher would be like, okay, we're done with the assignment class, talk to each other. Nobody in my class would talk to each other. They would just go on TikTok and just be glared at their phones the whole entire time. So they would never make new friends. They would never socialize. And that's the issue, right? And then after you ban the phones, that means people can actually talk to each other now.
Kids who don't want to pay attention are always going to find ways to distract themselves. You know how I know that? Because I was one of those kids. Back when I was in middle school in the ancient year of 2018, my school instituted a phone ban because the students in my school were scoring the lowest of any middle school in the district on average. Yeah, it was pretty ghetto. But the administrators thought if we ban phones, they'll have nothing left to do but pay attention in their class.
I honest to God think that's a stupid reason. If that is why they banned the phones, that's actually stupid. I think they banned the phones because of the cheating and how bad it got. Because my math teacher, he got so mad at everybody just cheating. Like, just using AI. Like, AI got to a point where it's like everybody cheats. Every single person just uses AI on their math assignment, on everything. And, like, I think the teachers were slowly losing it.
Now, back in middle school, I never paid attention in class. Not because I was a bad student, but because I was one of the few good students in my grade, but the material was so boring and stuff that I already knew that I'd rather be playing Jetpack Joyride on my phone or sending dog filter Snapchats to my friends than relearn the Pythagorean theorem for the 40th time. But after the phone ban came, no more Jetpack Joyride, no more dog filters. I had to sit in class as my teacher droned on in the front. Have you ever gotten so genuinely bored that you start tearing up? That happened to me multiple times after the ban, listening to these mundane concepts that I already knew.
Okay, listen, you're smart, but most kids in high school are not. Most people are failing. Most people are struggling. So the issue is that if you're smart, this sucks, right? Because like obviously you're gonna be bored and things like that. But most kids that don't pay attention, right? They have their phone, so then they just use their phone the whole entire class period and just be on TikTok. And then if you're the teacher teaching, how does that even like make you happy? Because like imagine trying to talk to a student or like teach a student, and then the student is just on TikTok the whole entire time. That would make me furious as a teacher, to be honest.
And the dumbest part is, all of the bad students didn't magically start paying attention and getting A's. They just became more disruptive in class and started acting out more because they didn't have their phone to keep them occupied. It was literally a loss for everyone.
No, I actually do agree that they banned the phones. And then if you make the point, get, how do I contact my parents if there's an emergency? Just get a flip phone. Simple. There's so many devices you can have that you can just call, you know?
Luckily, once I got to high school, I was free from that stupidity, but this year, it's back for everyone. I was at the gym the other day talking to a guy who goes to the high school I graduated from about the phone ban, and he was telling me that it sucks. He says that school is way more boring and isolating now because he can't communicate with his friends unless they're literally in the same vicinity of him.
But I think that's good, actually, because you make new friends, you make new connections, and you get to socialize more. Because a lot of the time, in my high school, nobody talks to each other because everyone's scared to talk. So what happens is they have a free way just to be quiet, and it's their iPhones, right? So what happens is everybody is just on their phones the whole entire time, and the whole class is quiet, no one's talking, nothing's happening, and it's boring. So you have to go and ban the iPhones, in my opinion, to make new friends and make socializing happen more.
Also, everyone just goes to their cars during lunch so they can finally go on their phones. Is that really better than the way that it was before? I mean, I don't disagree that phones can be distracting in school, but I think outright banning them from campus doesn't fix anything for students or teachers. Banning phones makes almost as little sense as super soaker attack drills, if you catch my drift. First off, the fact that these even exist is insane to me. Super soaker attacks have got
the drills are so bad in my school. Like every single random Wednesday or random Thursday, we would have these drills. It'd be fire drills, tornado drills, I can't say the word on YouTube, but those type of drills. And then the issue is they would just be so annoying because they would never tell you if the drill was real or not. So every single time there was a fire drill or an attack drill or any of those type of drills, I genuinely thought I was going to die, dude. I'm thinking in my head, this is how I'm dying. I'm dying next to peers that I barely even know.
And so prevalent in school that we literally need a drill for it, yet lawmakers think banning phones is a bigger priority. But the drills themselves are literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, someone has a super soaker on campus. Let's all hide in the same corner of the classroom. That way—
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing in my opinion. I don't understand how is that like what the people thought is the best way to do it. Like in my opinion, if there is someone attacking the school, what you should do is just exit through the window and try to find a great exit. But if you can't, the best thing to do is just barricade the crap out of the room. Like throw a desk. But the thing is, they don't teach you that. I don't understand why.
When they burst through the door, we can make it easy for them. Listen, I'm not telling you what to do, but if someone brought a super soaker to campus when I was in school, I am booking it off campus as quickly.
No, I am like, if my teacher's like, get, you can't run, you can't break the window. I don't give a damn. I am breaking that window as fast as I can. I'm gonna grab my nearest pair of scissors and just bam, 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 and break the damn window.
As possible, preferably with 2 or 3 of my homies. That way we have a fighting chance if we run into the guy. I am not sticking around in a campus being target practice in the corner of a room. The weird thing is, the longer I was in school, the more I felt like a super soaker attack was a real possibility. Like my senior year, it got to the point where I was like, okay, just gotta make it to October. Okay, now it's October, just make it to January. okay, now that's January, like, please let me just make it to March. And eventually it was just, okay, please let me make it to the end of graduation and I'm free. And even at the graduation ceremony, I was looking around like, please God, let me survive this. I want to make out with at least one girl in a college dorm before I die. And I survived and proceeded to make out with a girl in a college dorm. So
A girl, not a guy.
appreciate that, G. But yeah, the drills, they gotta go. They're clearly there to give off the illusion of safety without accomplishing anything. Just like wearing ID badges, they started.
Bro, oh my gosh. In my high school, like in my sophomore year, my school tried making every single kid in my school to wear ID badges, and no one did. It was so funny. And what would happen is, if you don't have your ID badge, what would happen is they would actually give you 3 days of in-school suspension. But the thing is, so many kids just did not wear the badge, they just kind of stopped. It was so hilarious, because why they wanted all the kids to wear their ID badges is because random kids in other high schools would just be coming into our high school just for fun. And the teachers were getting so angry.
This sometime when I was in high school, and it literally might be the most useless thing we were ever forced to do. Teachers were like, we need to identify everyone on campus in case of an event of danger. And it's like, bitch, what is an ID gonna do to stop anything? The only thing wearing IDs accomplished was ruining every fit you wore and being hella itchy around your neck. Plus, whatever printer they used to make
Oh my god, bro. I have another story. Every time you're late to my high school, you have to go into a long line, and then you have to show your ID, and then they scan you, and then they give you like a ticket, right? And if you get like 5 tickets, you have to do after school, like after hours, right? Well, the thing is, I was late a lot of the times, right? So what happened is I never had my ID, right? So what happened one time was, is I'm like really late. I'm like 20 minutes late. Like I get to school. I do not have my ID. So what happens is I go to the front desk, or like I go to the office. I'm like, hey, I'm late. Let me get a penalty. Let me get like a ticket. They're like, okay, where's your school ID? I'm like, I don't got one. And then the look on their face was like this. What? You don't have a school ID? Excuse me? And like, what happened was, they were like, $25. $25 for a new school ID. Do you know what I did? I said, oh, I'll just look in my car for a school ID. And I walked to my car and I skipped the whole day of school. And then the next day, I just went back to school and nothing happened. But you're probably asking, how do you even get inside the school without a school ID? I would just be that one annoying guy that would ask for anybody to open the door, and people would.
IDs was the most incompetent piece of technology ever, because everyone who had brown skin just turned out orange, and I was out here getting roasted by my friends cause this racist broken ass machine. I can't think of a single legitimate argument for enforcing IDs other than giving students a tool to cut up their Kool-Aid with whenever they snort it. Being forced to wear IDs annoyed me a little bit, but it was nothing compared to taking final exams.
Don't even say that word, bro. Oh, dude. Final exams suck, chat. You know why? Because you would always finish your exam first, and there would always be that one kid that would just not finish their damn test. Like, we have something called the STAR test, right? I think it's like only in Texas. I don't know. But with the STAR test, right? After you finish, every single other person has to finish. Then you're allowed to leave the school, or you're allowed to have your iPhone, right? But the issue is, there's always that one student, that one damn student that doesn't finish their damn STAR test. And the STAR test has like 5 hours of time and like 25 questions. So there's that one kid, It's like I would finish in probably like an hour, like maybe an hour or two. And there would be that one kid that takes 5 damn hours. After you finish the test, you can't leave the school. You have to sit at your desk for like 4 hours and say not a single word. And then like the teacher would be like this. I would ask the teacher, hey, can I have my phone? She'd be like, hell no. Then I'd be like, hey, can we play cards? Hell no. And then I would say, what can I do? And then she says, read a book. Read a book. Like, shut the hell up. I'm not reading no book. I need my YouTube Reels. I can't survive. Oh my God, bro. And there's always that one kid that takes like 5 damn hours, bro. So annoying. And then like, there was always that like one really cool teacher that would let you have your phone. But I never got that teacher.
I'm in university now, and final exams make sense for college courses because the entire course is based around like 3 exams. But back in high school, it felt like it was just this AIDS monster that was hanging over you the entire semester. Like, I would do so much work on the in-class assignments, homework, quizzes, tests throughout the semester, but then 20% of my grade would be the final exam. So if you bombed that test, your grade could go from...
The thing is, I love my high school teachers, because the thing is, they would just really just not give a crap. There would always be a review like a day before the test, right? And the review would have every single answer on the test. And then they would say, if you do the review, you can use it on the test. So basically, it was a cheat sheet for the whole entire test. So W teachers, I'm not gonna say which one is which, but W teachers, bro.
97 to an 85 real quick. The worst was in classes like history and psychology that were all memorizing terms and dates, cause whenever we took the unit tests, I would spend the entire night before cramming, memorizing as many terms as...
I never had, dude, chat, this might be insane. I don't think I have studied once in my whole high school experience. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think I studied once. The whole entire time, I don't think I studied once. All my teachers, or most of my teachers, like, let me use my resources. There we go. My teachers would let me use resources, if you know what I mean. And they basically just let me pass. It was amazing.
Possible, take the test, and then forget everything immediately, because that's how those tests are set up. They're not tests of understanding, they're tests of memorization. So by the time the final exams came around, I would essentially have to relearn everything by myself in the days leading up to it. Crash course history came in clutch more times than I can remember. The worst part is final exams are...
No, and the thing is this, chat. Every single kid in my high school that I knew personally was using AI. And the thing about AI that's insane is that there's an app, like pretend you have, I don't know, like a test. Let's say, like pretend you have a test right here. Pretend you have a test, right? A test right here. And it says like all the answers. Like what AI can do is if you take a photo of the assignment, right? It will give you every single answer. And it would be right like 98% of the time. It would say A, C, D, A, C, B, A, C, D. Put all the answers down, and then we would get like hundreds every single time. And then the teacher kind of caught on, and then the whole class got like grilled for it. Like they all got, like the teacher got so angry.
District policy, because I had a friend who lived the city over and he didn't have to do any final exams throughout high school at all. All y'all from Frisco, Texas, first off, some of you are actual degens, I'm not gonna lie. And second off, you don't realize how lucky you were that you didn't have to do final exams in high school. That was just a looming pressure that was constantly there in the back of my mind. The only time I didn't take final exams was second semester of my senior year, because there was this policy where any senior who had above an 85 in an AP class was exempt from taking the exam. But it's not like we could go home or hang out with our friends. Everyone who was exempt from the exam exam had to sit in the gym during the time period that they would be taking the exam, which made literally no sense. But on the last day of school during my senior year, when they finally let us out of the gym, me and my friends and some other students all went to Krispy Kreme because they had this special where they were giving out a free dozen donuts
Damn, I didn't even know that. I should have did that.
every graduating student. Shout out to Krispy Kreme for that. That's a big G move. So we all went to Krispy Kreme and the workers were handing out donuts to all of us. And then one of the kids in our group, and for some reason I will always remember this, he walks up to the counter and says, "Don't you want to check my ID to make sure that I'm actually graduating?" And then he pulls out his school ID and shows it to the worker without them even asking. Something about that really ticked me off, and for whatever reason, I still frequently think about it. Anyways, those were some annoying school rules.
No, definitely the star test was the most annoying, but fire video, chat. Fire video, dude. No, like in my opinion, I think my my school is kind of like, I feel like half of my school career or like half of my like grades were like not deserved. Like I used resources to make me pass. Like that's all I'm gonna say.